Hello and welcome to Wait, I've seen it before. We have chips. It's pizza flavor. It's not very good.
I kind of like it, to be fair. Like,
I mean, to be honest, I wanted it to be more cheesy. It tastes a lot like
it tastes like the flavor. What do you say? You add things to the flavor to add flavor,
I know.
pepper
You-
and stuff.
No, not pepperoni.
No,
I know what you mean. In Persian we call it avishan.
no, it's the spice.
I know it's the avishan. I don't know what.
In English, it's
Yeah.
thyme.
Oh yeah, thyme. It tastes like thyme.
I like thyme.
I don't. I don't like vegetables. If I wanted to eat vegetables, I eat vegetables. Even though that's a grass. That's not vegetable. Anyways. I'm Ali, by the way.
And I am Muhammad.
Yes. And
And
if you
put our names together, you get a very weird combination.
Muhammad Ali
Kelly.
or Keshavaz, choose your
Choose your poison.
yeah. Anyways, the reason we are here with you today is that if you listen to our last episode, we talked about a video game adaptation, which was Mortal Kombat. So in this one, we're gonna talk about movies about video games, not video game movies. Movies about
Yeah,
video games.
which is a weird topic.
Yeah,
It's like movies about books. How many movies do we have?
about books, a lot.
Really?
Yeah, about like reading book. Like there is actually a movie called The Reader.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, I guess we do have a lot.
We have Book Thief, which is both itself based on a book and about a book. We have the Book of Eli, which was a very stupid movie. Like the whole twist of that movie is so stupid. I know what they were going for. First of all, it's Christian propaganda. And
It's called the Book of Eli. Of
Yeah.
course, it's Christian propaganda.
I don't like Christian propaganda. And even though Denzel Washington is actually good in it, the twist is so stupid.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. Like, he can't do any of that shit that he does. I don't care how you. I guess Power of the Lord helps him and all of that. The
There
Power
you
of
go.
the Dog. Which was actually won the Golden Globes as we were recording this. Power of the Dog won.
A couple days
And
ago, yeah.
Power of the Dogs.
On the musical side, West Side Story one.
Which I haven't seen. But speaking of West Side Story,
It's about speed. It's time to talk about Steven
Spielberg.
Spielberg.
what are your thoughts on Steven Spielberg?
I have lost all respect for him after I watched the movie we're gonna talk about.
Seriously?
I genuinely did.
Not after Indiana Jones 4?
I mean, to be fair, that was actually my first Indiana Jones movie, and I was like, this isn't that bad.
Then you watched the first two, you know.
Yeah, this was really bad. The here's the thing. Here's the problem that I have with Spielberg movies. Is that first of all, he's not a very good. I mean, he hasn't wrote the scripts, to be fair, but the stories he chooses are quite stupid. If I put so,
You
put
mean
so
all
blunt.
of them or...
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but a lot of them. And on the other hand,
He's a really good fucking director.
look, he's good. I do admit it. Like he's probably actually in my mind he's probably the most famous director in the world because
The name itself
yeah,
is Hollywood. But I think even though Kevin Feige is probably more successful and more influential than him, Steven Spielberg is the essence of Hollywood.
like you go to you walk in the street, you ask from 10 people who Spielberg is, probably 8 of them are gonna know his name and are gonna tell you, yeah, he's an American director.
Yeah.
That is not something you can do with Marty Scorsese or I don't know, some
Even
other-
Quentin Tarantino,
Even Tarantino, yeah.
which is like one of those names, or Tornatore, which is a name people confuse with Tarantino.
For whatever reason.
Yeah, the name was similar.
But the second problem I have with Spielberg movies is that you always remember that one scene and the rest of the movie sucks balls. And for reference, I'm going to talk about Saving Private Ryan. You know, you have that
come
phenomenal
on.
opening of Normandy Beach. It
The
starts,
D-Day.
it's fantastic. You know, people are getting killed left and right. The music, and everything is great. What do you remember about the rest of the film?
I remember the sniper scene.
The sniper scene.
He shoots the sniper from the glint of his...
It's not. I don't know.
To be honest, you chose a bad one because, for me,
Oh.
because I actually love World War II movies and I watched Saving Private Ryan quite a bunch of times.
Here's the stupid thing. I like the Thin Red Line a lot more. Not a lot more, but quite more than Saving Private Ryan.
Those are two different animals, though. One of them is a...
They came out in the same year. That's
Yeah,
why I compare.
But they are like two different animals. Again, they're sort of like comparing an Encounter of the Third Kind with 2001: A Space Odyssey. I mean, they're both technically about space,
Yeah, sure.
but like they're two different. I know one of them doesn't have aliens in it. What is a good? Oh,
Technically, it doesn't have an alien. It doesn't have organic aliens.
Yeah. So to be honest, for me, Steven Spielberg again is quintessential director. Like even his way he talks, the way he carries himself is like the director. I think the public perception of directors is probably shaped around a couple of people. One of them is Federico Fellini, which we all know, the high boots and like the fussy attitude and the bray and all of that. It's basically, we are acting like Federico Fellini, who was as much a showman as he was a director.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he made a movie about his own life, so
yeah, basically.
there you go.
And he chose one of the hottest guys in Italy to play himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a movie about my life and I'm gonna have Adam Driver play me. Yeah, I look like that. Don't you believe me? Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah. And Jeremiah is gonna play my dad.
who's gonna be your mom? Nicole Kidman?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Why not? I mean, Nicole Kidman is actually older than my mom.
Really?
I think so. The thing is that another one is Steven Spielberg. When we think of directors sitting, watching in that monitor, and they have their name on the back of the
A chair.
chair. Spielberg is that. He's a larger than life figure, and
I think more than anything, he's a good entry point.
oh, he's a great entry point. I
Like-
think. But the thing is, I actually believe he's a damn good director. For the most part. He does have his shitty movies. He does have his over-reliance on CGI. The thing is that he's a good director. He's a much better... I'm not going to say technician because I think that's James Cameron. James Cameron is a technician. He's all about, what technology I can use. Spielberg is more of a risk taker. Like, what new stuff I can use. You know?
I get it.
Like, he probably doesn't care about the technicality of stuff as much as Cameron does. But it's like, yes, CG is getting started. Let's use it in Jurassic Park.
Though, to be fair, he didn't use it that much. Like,
In Jurassic Park?
yeah, because the dinosaurs, some of them are animated.
Animatronic.
Yeah, animatronic.
If it's the head and body, it's usually animatronic. If you see the whole dinosaur walking, it's CG.
Yeah.
But at some point, he gets an over-reliance for it when it comes to the fourth Indiana Jones, where the gopher is actually fucking CG. Like, how hard is it to get a gopher and it's an easy animal. I
think-
know Caddyshack makes us think that we can't get one, but it's actually much easier to get a gopher than you think. Don't listen to Bill Murray. For those of you Caddyshack fans out there,
There you go.
yeah, it's actually more people than you think. Caddyshack is one of those.
I know it's really popular in
Yeah.
USA, not in our country, but
Yeah, in our country, we don't have golf,
yeah.
so why would we care about Caddyshack? The thing is, when he does good, he really knows how to tell a good story. Not in the sense that the story is good. He knows how to tell it good.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think there is any director with a body of work as vast as Steven Spielberg that you can unify as many people as Spielberg does. For example, what are your thoughts on E.T.?
I think it's good.
I loved it. It's one of my top 100 movies. What are your thoughts on Indiana Jones, the original one,
I
the
think
third
it's
one? Yeah, you see, it's, but like for example, of the people that came around him, 1970s, it's New Hollywood.
You have Zemeckis, you
have
have
Zemeckis, you have
Scorsese, you have De Palma, you have
Coppola. All of these figures are. I mean, Coppola is like, oh, he's the master, but he made so little movies, so he had time. If Coppola had Spielberg's schedule, he would make a lot of shit. We know because when he had Spielberg's schedule, he made a lot of shit. He made Twixt.
Yeah.
You remember Twixt? And I kind of feel sad because that's one of the few movies about Edgar Allan Poe. Poor Edgar Allan Poe. You didn't live a sad enough life that you're gonna be ruined like that. There's actually an Edgar Allan Poe movie, I don't know if you remember, called The Raven with John Cusack.
I haven't seen it, I know of it though.
Oh, it's one of the first Edgar Allan Poe movies I watched. It's so stupid. The thing is that the body of work that Spielberg has, and again, Spielberg is not just a director. He's a bigger producer. Like, he produced so many good shit you can't even imagine. Not just movies. Video games.
Yeah.
Medal of Honor, which we'll get to. Animation. Animated stuff like Animaniacs.
He started DreamWorks basically.
Yeah, he started DreamWorks. He's one of, you know, the SKG, the S is Spielberg, and the K is Katzenberg, the guy behind Quibi. Really?
Yeah, I know.
Fuck! What the fuck is wrong with you, cats? What happened to you, man?
Things change a lot. I
Yeah.
guess.
And like, you know, Shrek.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be Katzenberg, like, come back to Michael Eisner, who was at the time head of Disney. Like, Eisner, okay, for those of you who don't know, the first Shrek, the main villain is very short. Now, Michael Eisner
Was very tall.
was very tall. And so you see the joke there, the Lord Fuckwad? It's Fuckwad.
Yeah.
It's Fuckwad. Oh, God. I really don't like Shrek, and I know we're gonna get a lot of dislikes for that, but I really think Shrek is something that I'm not gonna get into.
Do you really want me to talk about Shrek?
No, I'm gonna talk about Spielberg. But I'm saying, like, Spielberg is.
I think I outgrew him, to be fair. Like,
I
at some point, I'm like, again, he's a good entry point. You see E.T. and you're like, wow, it's really cool, you know. And you see Indiana Jones and you're like, oh, okay, this is cool. But, you know, as time goes on, I feel like his stuff seemed to always hit the same note. This is the same exact thing, problem I have with Zemeckis too. Like, they feel like, how do
they're
I say?
Hollywood personified.
Yeah. There's a set of things that happen in each of their movies,
I know
and
what
you know
mean.
exactly what's going to happen. You know how the movie's going to look. You know what the story is probably going to be.
But the thing is about, again, these guys that are
And
quintessential
To
Hollywood.
be fair, I kind of feel like he doesn't give a shit anymore.
Spielberg? I don't think Spielberg ever gave a shit. After Duel, he never gave a shit. No, I'm of course joking. The thing is, they're more into icons than they are into, as you said, we all remember the scene where Indy is running away from the boulder.
Yeah.
We may not remember much else from
the movie, exactly.
I do remember a lot more, to be honest, but again, I don't know. I love those movies, so I watch them a lot. Like, I remember the staff shining a light.
No, don't give me it. There are good stuff there, but there's that one iconic scene that's always like in everyone's minds.
The thing is, like, Spielberg made The Terminal.
Okay.
That's a great movie. And, like,
It's alright.
the thing is that, okay, the problem I have, not the problem, the idea I'm saying is that, the problem I have with your statement is
Thank you.
this is the same guy that made Indiana Jones, made Terminal. Like, he knows how to tell a good story. He knows how to tell a story in a good way. So, if you give him an action, comedy, romp, he'll give you Indiana Jones. If you give him an emotional story like Terminal, he gives you that. If you give him a heist movie, he gives you Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
So it's a body of work that honestly is exemplary. I don't think a lot of directors can do what Spielberg does. And I know it because not a lot of directors do what Spielberg... Not even Spielberg's close friend Kubrick could do what Spielberg does.
Yeah, I guess
And
so.
by the way, AI is a movie, another one of those things that...
He did well.
He didn't do well. He basically wanted to make his friend's movie. And it's so sweet, but at the same time, misguided. And I'm like... You know, it's like when your cat brings you a dead animal. And you're like, oh, that's a sweet gesture, but what the fuck is wrong with you? I didn't like it, yeah. I know it's a great gesture, all of that. I didn't like it, yeah. Anyways,
yeah.
going back to Ready Player One, which is the subject of this movie episode, I think we need to take a break first.
Yeah, let's take a break.
My name's Wade Watts. My dad picked that name because it sounded like a superhero's alter ego, like Peter Parker or Bruce Banner. But he died when I was a kid, my mom too. And I ended up here, sitting here in my tiny corner of nowhere. There's nowhere left to go. Nowhere. Except the Oasis. A whole virtual universe. People come to the Oasis for all the things they can do. But they stay because of all the things they can be.
Can you feel this?
Yeah. It's the only place.
And we're back. Come on, chew. Okay, one of the things I sort of admire about Spielberg still is that he still tends to do what he likes to do, which is not a luxury a lot of directors can afford.
Not really.
I mean,
Not a lot of young directors.
not even a lot of old directors. De Palma can't do what he wants to do. He doesn't
That
have
is-
the money.
Yeah, that is because, you know, he made a bunch of bad movies.
But he made The Untouchables. He made Scarface.
He made Carrie, he made Carlito's Way, but, you know, then he made, I don't know,
I like Black Dahlia, so fuck off. No, the thing is that, again, Spielberg made a lot of bad movies, but the thing is, at some point you need to take the risk. Like, I don't think Scorsese is ever gonna make the movie that he always wants to make.
because he can't make superhero movies.
Yeah. It's so sad to see Scorsese be so like, we need to do one about that at some point.
Yeah.
Because Scorsese really likes those kind of movies. He likes Corman movies. He likes Hammer movies. These are the same, motherfucker. They just have bigger budgets. And I know you're hating on the state of the cinema, not just those movies. But that's just time. Like, yeah, drive-ins are no longer a viable option because nobody likes to go and sit in a car and watch a movie.
Yeah, it's... it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's out of the context.
The
of
thing
this
is that
episode.
Spielberg still does what he wants to do. Like, he wants to make a remake of a classic musical, no matter how good is the classic musical, and no matter how you don't want to make a remake of it, he goes ahead and does it.
Apparently it's good. We haven't seen it
Yeah,
yet. But
we need to see it. But the thing about Ready Player One is that he actually wanted to make it.
are you sure about that?
Yes, because he actually did a thing that he never did before. He made a movie that was 95% CG. And he actually talks about how hard it was.
I remember the review from RLM for Ready Player One, and they were like, so Spielberg didn't give a shit. He filmed like 20% of the movie that was like real time, and the rest was like, yeah, you guys do whatever you want yourselves.
I disagree. Mainly because the movie still has a... Okay, the guys who did it, they really loved Spielberg. Because the movie has a distinct Spielberg feel to it. The camera, the settings.
Obviously, yeah.
So either the guys who did it really liked Spielberg and they were like, oh, we're gonna make a Spielberg movie. Or he actually did some
himself.
shit.
I mean, that was a joke, to be
Yeah, I
fair,
know.
but like, God.
I know you don't like it. And much like the last...
No, I don't like it. I hate it.
Really?
It is truly one of the most hated movies I've ever seen, ever.
I mean, to be honest, I understand...
Part of it is because of the story.
Oh, okay. Just before we go ahead, have you read the book?
No.
It's really bad. Go ahead.
And considering how bad the book is, it must be a miracle that he could make it at least coherent movie.
Actually,
I'd
that's
give
the
it
thing.
that.
Do you know what is the peak of the book? They recite Monty Python and the Holy Grail, word for word.
That's the problem. Ready Player One is quintessentially what the problem is with reference culture. You just throw in shit without it making any sort of sense in the story. Why do you have the Iron Giant? Why do you have Akira's motorcycle? Why do you have Tracer from Overwatch? Why do you have a bunch of Spartans from Halo? Remember I don't know, have you seen the pitch meeting for Ready Player One?
Yeah.
It's like, he tells the flaws of the story. Is like, wait, how did he do that? And he's like, remember Batman? He's in the movie. Like,
Okay.
making a reference.
I'm sorry, I need to say this.
it.
Artspear Entertainment does one of those what if trailers, funny sort of thing. They're Australian group, 2 people basically in Australia who makes it. And for the Ready Player One, their trailer was that they said you could be anyone, but after a while they needed to cap Batman at 500,000 because, and it's like all Batman and it's like, I'm so tired of watching fucking Batman because everybody wanted to be Batman. And honestly, if I could be anyone, I'd be Hannibal Lecter, but that's because I'm a weird dude.
Like, you throw in, this is a problem that I have with that new Space Jam movie too.
Okay, this is unfair.
No, it's not. Listen, you cram in all of these references. At least that movie kind of uses it as a part of the story. This movie does not do jack shit with it.
Actually, that's the thing I wanted to say, that movie is doing it very poorly in a sort that, oh, look, all of these characters, this one is actually, oh, it's a game. You get to choose whatever you want.
If it's a game, then why isn't it using original assets? Oh god, there's so much that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so the story is, the founder of this game has died, and he has left 3 Easter eggs, which sounds like the stupidest thing in the world. And I know this is part of the book, not Spielberg's fault necessarily, but whatever.
No, the thing is that I'm with you with the fact that the Easter eggs are very stupid. The first one is driving fucking...
Look, I'm gonna talk about that just now. He has hidden 3 Easter eggs, and for whatever reason, whoever finds those Easter eggs is gonna have control of the game for whatever reason. Okay, whatever. It's a MacGuffin, he's gonna go after it. The first Easter egg is in a racing game, and you attain it through a bug. God. What you do is what basically any gamer ever has done. You reverse from the starting line. That's it. That's all it took to finish the race. And like, they were stuck there for 5 years. For 5 years, nobody thought, yeah, what if I don't even cross the starting lap? What if I just back up a little bit and, crash into the geometry and whatever? I'm like...
Yeah, I understand that. That's a very stupid plot point.
I don't know, was it in the book?
I don't remember. Mainly because I skipped a lot of the book. I'm not kidding. I was reading it. I skipped chapters.
Yes.
And I was like, okay. I basically did this. I read a chapter. No, this is very stupid. The next chapter I was reading, okay, this is very stupid. Then I jumped like 4 chapters and I said, oh yeah, I can't follow the story. Let's keep reading from here. I don't want to. It's not a good book.
It's okay. No, I haven't stopped complaining yet.
Oh, okay. What was the second one?
The second one is the only good part of the movie is
Shining.
And that's because it's his friend's work, not his own work. The Shining is it's a phenomenal movie, and he just basically copy-pasted it on his own. Whatever. At some point, the guy's Trick, the main villain, which is played by Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah.
And
Ben Mendelsohn in that year played a lot of villains.
Yeah.
He was in Rogue One. He was in...
Not in that year, but in the same time frame.
That time
frame.
He was like the go-to villain guy for a while. And King George for some reason.
I don't know. Anyway, they trap him in this room that is apparently so fucking realistic. He forgot that he had put his VR goggles on, and he's not even held captive. Does that make any sense to you?
Okay.
I hate it when someone, thinks that I'm a dummy, I'm an idiot. Like,
I know what you mean. I don't think he thinks you're an idiot. I think it just asks... Okay. This has nothing to do with Spielberg. It's happened to do with another guy that was making kid-friendly movies back in the 90s called Chris Columbus.
Yes.
Chris Columbus made the original Home Alone, and he sort of...
banked on the idea, I guess.
Yeah, that suspension of disbelief. You need to believe all of this stupid shit is actually what's happening. And I think that's the thing with this. Again, Chris Columbus, if you look at his career, it's not going very well.
Not really.
And that's because at some point, we became very cynical. Chris Columbus and Steven Spielberg didn't. The thing is, if that was a 90s movie, we wouldn't care.
No.
I'm not saying it in defense of the movie. I think that's a stupid plot point. I'm just saying it's not because he thought you were an idiot. It's because he's still stuck in the 90s mindset. It's stuck in a pre 9/11 world where everything is,
Everything is a lot simpler than
yeah.
what it seems to be.
It's easy to imagine a kid is stuck at home alone. It's easy to imagine an alien comes to Earth and have a friendship with a boy. The fact is, okay.
Maybe that's why I outgrew him. Like, again,
I think the world sort of outgrew him in general. At the same time, though, again, I love E.T. I think E.T. is still a good movie. But I also know that E.T. came out 30 years ago. I know if E.T. came out today, that exact movie came out today, I probably would be a lot more critical.
Less positive, yeah.
Yeah, critical of it. But yeah, again, I think it's because the thing about creating a world so realistic that the guy falls for it, it's a very 90s plot point.
It's beyond stupid. Like,
it's literally the plot point of Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
Like, they make a set of the casino that the guy falls for it. Like, that's literally the plot of Ocean's 11. But Ocean 11 came out a long time ago.
What?
And even Ocean's 11 was so funny and...
To give that movie credit, like, it works in the context of that movie because it's so schlocky that the movie itself is so schlocky.
Yeah.
Ready Player One is not a schlocky movie. It takes itself quite seriously a lot of the time.
That's the problem.
Like,
that's the biggest problem.
There is this the final fight is just, it's basically what a kid can dream of. All of the action figures on one place, imaginary enemies at the other place. Just start matching everything at each other and just see what happens. It's badly choreographed. It looks quite bad.
I mean, it doesn't
makes
look,
no
to be
sense.
honest, it doesn't look quite bad.
No, I haven't watched this movie in like 3 years. So.
It actually holds up better than you imagine when you realize, okay, it's very cohesive. That's the thing that's working for it. Like, there is nothing that jumps out at you like, oh, this effect doesn't work. Again, this is our next movie which we're gonna talk about, Free Guy.
I actually think it's quite jarring though. Like,
no. I'm saying that. Remember in Free Guy, the dude.
Yeah.
Is so out of place because it's so obviously CG, but everyone is live action. In Ready Player One, at least everyone is CG. It works together. Like, everything has the same quality. So it actually feels like a game. It doesn't look bad. That's what I'm saying.
I guess so. I can't agree with that, unfortunately.
I know. I agree. It's badly choreographed. Again. Okay, I can't. I need to come to the defense of the movie because I actually didn't hate it. Mostly because I knew what he was doing, and I can't believe I'm saying this. This is actually a very good movie about video games. This is the closest thing to an actual video game.
You're killing me, dude.
No. Listen. This is the closest thing to an actual video game we had in a movie about video games that is actually like a video game.
You're killing me.
I'm talking like in comparison to Mythic Quest, which is about like video game designers. That show, like, that game doesn't work. I'm talking in contrast to Free Guy. That game doesn't fucking work. This is actually feels like a video game.
Even then, I don't know.
That's the thing. Spielberg loves video games.
Yeah.
And he actually knew how to make one. I'm not saying he did a great job with this one, but I'm saying it actually feels like, oh, I forgot. Some Mark Rylance, I forgot that Spielberg also did Bridge of Spies.
Yeah. Which
God.
again, Again, it's really dependent on the story he's doing.
Yeah,
I
that
think.
was good.
Bridge of Spies was written by the Coen brothers. It was a
Yeah.
great movie. Terminal was written by someone really good. I can't remember. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Uh,
This one was written by Zach Penn
This one was written
and
by.
Ernest Cline, that fucker.
There you go.
Yeah, I agree. But the thing is that the game actually looks like a game. And
It doesn't though.
It actually does.
No,
There is a
dude.
lot of. I agree. There is not a lot of.
Like, okay, why are the like? I get it. A meta game might exist, but the concept,
It's VR chat.
like every genre is going to exist. We're gonna take every asset from every other property and we're gonna shove it in. And inside. I don't know. It's
That
so
that part
far-fetched.
is. I agree. That part is mostly fan service for us. But imagine if instead of again VR chat is sort of like that, isn't it?
I haven't done VR chat, but yes.
I've seen VR chat.
Yes, VR chat is a room though. It's not gameplay.
Okay, but imagine if VR chat get to the point where you can have gameplay, so you can be anyone, and for some reason, all copyrights is abolished except
There
the
you go.
one of the game. I know that part is stupid. I'm not gonna defend that part, but I'm saying it feels like an actual game in contrast to other movies that depict a video
Wreck-It
game.
Ralph feels more
Wreck-It-
like a
Okay, Wreck-It Ralph is cheating
game.
because that's actually a game.
There you go.
No, like Wreck-It Ralph is actually based on an actual game.
Yeah, I know it because it is a game.
Yeah, that's a video game movie. That's not a movie about video games.
You're just trying to go through all sorts of hoops to say this looks like a game.
It looks like I'm saying compared to Free Guy, which we'll talk about after this. That game does not look like a game. You can't do what they do in that game, but you can't imagine doing what they do in this game. Can't you?
Not really.
Seriously, like, just put aside the fact that everyone is Batman.
It needs the level of polish, the level of coding it needs to be accomplished.
Okay.
It's just unimaginable.
That's where the sci-fi bullshit comes in. Imagine imagine Silicon Valley happened. There's an algorithm that can do all of that shit that they were doing in Silicon Valley, which I was very excited about, but I realized was fake because I have a problem with storage and I want everything to be smaller,
Oh.
but apparently it doesn't happen. Fuck you. Fuck you, Mark Judge. But the thing is that imagine in that world, yeah, the level of polish is incredible, but that game I can imagine being playable. You know what I mean? Like there is something to do in that
We
game.
can agree to disagree, I guess, because I
Yeah.
just can't see it.
Well, yeah, I understand what you mean, but to be honest, I disagree. Because I like the movie for the most part. When it didn't have that stupid, like when the stupid moments happen.
You know what's even worse? The robot dude, Sean, no, not Sean.
The
I
robot?
forgot his name.
Simon Pegg?
Yeah, he could have solved the movie 10 minutes in.
Yeah. That one I put on Ernest Klein.
It's a kind
That's a Klein shit. That comes off a mile as a Klein shit.
Yeah, maybe.
Again, it's
It's
Warner
okay,
Brothers. It's Warner Brothers showing its dick to Disney. Look at this. We have all of these IPs. None of them have a good movie, but we have all of these IPs.
But doing it once is okay. Doing it twice?
Yeah, Space Jam is fucking stupid.
Warner must have some serious self-doubt issues and stuff like that.
See how many cool shit we have? We have Mortal Kombat now.
I still don't get So there's so much shit I don't get about this movie.
Again, I managed to suspend my disbelief, and again, it's very suspended. Like it's
I'm happy for you.
hanging by a thread. But I could get through this without thinking about all of that because we didn't see the background of how the game works. You know what I mean? You don't see the coding, and that sort of gives it a mystical element. Like, oh, how did they make this game?
Yeah, it's
in
like,
contrast to
it's like, wiping off the question
yeah,
instead of
like,
answering it.
But again, I managed to suspend because of that, which is something I couldn't do for Free Guy. Which I think we should take a break and come back and talk about Free Guy. But before that,
I mean, yeah,
do you recommend Ready Player One?
absolutely not.
I do. Go watch it. Watch it twice. Buy it.
Let's
No,
take a
not
break.
buy it. I think it's probably on HBO Max. It should be,
Maybe,
right?
maybe. I don't
If you have HBO Max, just give it a chance. It's again, and this is probably the worst part of it because that is exactly what they were going for. It's a nostalgia piece. You will probably see something you get excited about it in the movie, even if just seeing it. Like even if you're a horror fan, they have Chucky.
They have The Shining.
Yeah.
They have zombies in Shining. Come on. Kubrick just turned over in his grave 34 times after seeing that shit.
To be honest, zombies in games are a menace. They ruin the best of the games. Why not ruin the best of the movies too?
Nice. That
Also-
was a good answer. I have nothing to say.
Also, I love the fact that the villain is EA. Like they didn't say it's EA, but it's EA. Like the big bad guy's big bad plan is literally putting microtransaction into the game and advertising. It's EA and I love. Okay, I get to it when we get to Free Guy, but because one of the biggest problem with Free Guy is how it handles the gaming community. But this is actually, I think, understood better the gaming community than Free Guy.
What? In what way?
That actually one of the biggest problem that is happening is the over monetization.
Yeah, but that is such a broad topic I'm not gonna get
Okay.
into. Let's take a break.
Good morning, Goldie. My name is Guy, and I live in Free City. I have everything I need. Except one thing. Hey! Excuse me. Hey! Hey, bud, you ever think that there's got to be more?
More than what?
The stuff we do day after day.
Literally not once.
Today's gonna be different, Goldie. What are we looking at?
Who are you?
We ran into each other the other day.
How did you find me?
I waited outside by the murder train.
Guy, I have to tell you something. There is no easy way to say this. This world, it's a video game. Listen to me. You're not real.
And we're back. We just had a very heated discussion about Ready Player One, and so I think it's time we get into a not as heated discussion probably about Sean Lee. Is it Levi or Levy?
So Levi's is the jeans, right? If you... they write it with I,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna call him Sean Levy for now.
Yeah, Sean Levy. The guy who made The Night at the Museum.
And Horrible... Did he do Horrible Bosses?
I don't think so. Did he? Film? He
No.
didn't.
He did Real Steel.
Well, oh, that Hugh Jackman movie?
Yeah, Hugh Jackman.
Anyways, Free Guy.
Yeah.
What is your thought of...
It's not a
Free
good
Guy?
movie.
It's not a good movie, yeah. It's a mediocre movie with a very stupid, simplistic message, and this is the part where it pisses me off. This game
That's the part
doesn't
that
exist. Yeah. No.
Why doesn't it exist? It's basically GTA.
It's so stupid. That's not how NPCs in GTA work.
Like how?
You go in, you put them on there, everybody just lies down. No, they fight, they run away.
I mean, how do we
Okay.
talk about?
This is one of those AI gets too smart stories.
Yeah.
It's basically Terminator, but
In a wholesome way.
in a wholesome way. I understand why they made it. I really do. I do understand why they made it. They wanted to address a lot of problems with gaming community. They wanted to not just gamers. I mean, gaming industry. I should have said.
That includes developer,
Yeah.
publisher, all those stuff.
They wanted to address a lot of that. I think there is a lot of personal. Holy shit! How could I not see that?
What the-
The same guy wrote the two fucking movies. Zach Penn wrote Free Guy, and Zach Penn wrote Ready Player One.
Well, see, I was right. Ali wanted to do Truman Show. I said no, we should do this.
Yeah.
I was right, damn it.
Holy fuck. How did I not see that before?
I did not realize that either.
I mean, to be honest, I think this guy does nothing basically. Because these two movies are not similar.
Why? They are.
No, the way they handle the subject are extremely different.
Eh.
This one is,
I mean, both are about opposition. Like,
yeah, but one of them,
Free Guy is a lot smaller. It's like,
one guy versus one girl.
yeah. It's not that versus the world mentality, but they both have idiotic romance plot points. They both have that oppressive shit. They both have that, manager who's just a villain trying to,
Oh god, Taika Waititi.
get the money from consumers, whatever. We're quite similar, I think.
Honestly, I was mostly thinking of, one of them is more cynical, and
What? Ready Player One.
Ready Player One is much more cynical.
Yeah, it is.
I think Klein, because this one is also written by Matt Lieberman, who wrote the story of the movie, which that one was Ernest Klein, which wrote the book. So I don't know if who is Zach Penn? He wrote The Incredible Hulk,
The 2008 movie? Or the Ang Lee movie?
the 2008 movie.
I think, yeah, it won
And co-wrote the script for X2 and X-Men The Last Stand and the story for Avengers. The Avengers 2012. So he did some good shit.
And he did some bad shit.
Yeah. Okay, fucking hell. I'm not gonna look at it. I'm just still reveling at the revelation that the same guy wrote the two fucking movies we're gonna talk about, and we didn't even know.
That is stupid.
Yeah. The thing is about this game that rubs me the wrong way is that I know it's supposed to be GTA, but it's not GTA. It at the same time feels okay. There is a juxtaposition here. This is the part where I say Spielberg's movie did good. In Spielberg's movie, you really don't have a sense of NPCs. Like, you don't really see a lot of NPCs.
Because there's only one and it's not even an NPC.
Yeah, it's not an NPC. The only NPC you have are enemies.
Yeah.
Like King Kong or the dinosaur from Jurassic Park, T-Rex from Jurassic Park. But in this one, you have a lot of talk about NPCs and how gaming works and how coding works and all of that. And that's not how it works.
No, it's not.
And that's what makes it so frustrating to watch. Like, I watch watch them play the game, the Free City game, and I know that game doesn't exist because at the same time,
in Ready Player One couldn't exist.
no, the game in Ready Player One feels like an actual game. That's the thing. Here, the AI is supposed to be revolutionary. Oh, it's so realistic that people like it. I feel like it's so realistic, but it's the stupidest AI ever. It has a very certain route that it takes. Not even Hitman has that anymore. Like, if you shoot someone in Hitman, their guards will change their routes.
Yeah, that is kind of fair.
I think that's been the case since Hitman Absolution, because I remember in Hitman Absolution that happened. So it's like they want us to believe this is the thing that, and I'm coming back to it because that Ready Player One had something that this movie doesn't have, and that's Spielberg's direction, which this one doesn't have, because the action in this is fucking bad.
Because the action in Spielberg's movie was good.
The action in Spielberg movie at least was interesting. Like it was so busy.
Disagree.
Like it was so busy that you couldn't understand what was happening, but it was interesting to look at.
Free Guy doesn't make any sense either. But at least there are some concepts that are implemented there. Like the whole, how do you cover the assets of previous design and stuff like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
towards the end of
you
the
put
movie.
it in there.
That is kind of realistic. Like, I've seen behind the scene game developments. I know they always hide assets from previous versions out there just not to fuck up the coding. That's kind of nice.
Believe me, I know. Skyrim does it a lot. They deleted a whole side quest about the Civil War.
Yeah.
Everything about it is in the game. It's
That's
literally they made a mod, but you just can't access those files.
That's just God Howard's power.
Yes. I know it makes a lot of sense I know they took a lot from the gaming industry, but at the same time,
a lot more than Ready Player One. It's a more faithful, in my mind at least, it's more faithful than that movie.
I cannot agree with you on that, because again, when I see this gameplay of this game, I'm saying, I don't know, this game cannot work because it feels incredibly boring. And yet I have to believe that this game is so great and expansive that everyone is playing it. Like Jacksepticeye is playing. Oh my god, that's a stupid part.
I'm okay with yeah, I like him.
I like Jacksepticeye. I don't like him in this.
Yeah, it was the streamer stuff was super cringe, really bad.
I mean, talk about cringe. Like half of the movie is cringe. Keys is cringe.
Just like Ready Player One.
Ready Player One is stupid. It's not cringy.
It is.
No, it's not cringy. I disagree. Like it's
You're
stupid.
just defending it.
No, not. I'm defending it, but because it's just when I see Ready Player One do something stupid like go backward, I'm saying, okay, that's very dumb. What I don't feel is the feeling of secondhand embarrassment when I watch Free Guy and watch Taika Waititi do that hand thing when he talks.
It's a good thing you haven't watched Matrix Resurrections yet.
Oh, I've seen. I know what you're talking about in Matrix Resurrections. There. Oh, this is I will need to watch that. Anyways, the thing is that like the cringe I felt at that Keys' friend, the guy who was his boss, that didn't do it.
Yeah.
Keys is my boy, and I'm like, okay, that line is so cringe, and the way he delivered it was so cringy. Like I feel a secondhand embarrassment that I don't feel in Ready Player One. Ready Player One, I'm like, okay, you're dumb, you're stupid, go fuck yourself. But I'm like, in this one, I'm like, ew. That's so bad. But I'm okay. like I did with Ready Player One, I want to talk about the good stuff in this for a while. Ryan Reynolds is pretty good. He's carrying the movie.
I like the cast a lot more than Ready Player One. Reynolds is good. Jodie Comer is kind of good.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
for
not
me,
blastful good, but it's okay.
the thing in this one that after Ryan Reynolds really got me was Little Ray Howe.
Oh.
Because he was so cute, like so adorable in this movie, and I'm like, he was so happy, and he was so good. He was having so much fun. It was fun to see him have so much fun.
Yeah.
But you want to talk about cringy references? The Marvel, the fact this is Disney, the same guy who
Wrote that for Warner is writing this for Disney.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, let's show Warner's dick to Disney, and then the same guy goes and pulls down the pants on Disney and showing the Disney's dick to Warner, because for no reason, literally no reason, there is a Captain America shield, a Hulk hand, and a fucking lightsaber. Now, I know it's supposed to be Fortnite skins, like when Fortnite did the same thing with Disney. All I need is a fucking line that says that.
It is as stupid, if not even more stupid than Ready Player One's references.
Yeah, but I because I know what they're doing here. In that one, it's I understand that one is also a problem. That how did we get to the world where no copyright exists? I'm saying VR chat, because VR chat actually does that. Like, you have a lot of copyrighted character there.
Yeah, but it's
I
going
know.
through hoops and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, in that one they don't explain it. In this one, I know what they're trying to do. Like, when Fortnite did it, I like just have that code guy say, "Oh, that's the skin, and that's the Disney skin."
Yeah. Again, it's not gaming in any.
It has a feel like
he's writing code and the code is implemented instantly into the game. That's not how shit works.
And the code itself doesn't make sense. The idea of that coding, if you want, this is the problem with a lot of sci-fi movies. If you get technical, if you want to go auto-circular, I'm going to write hard sci-fi. You need to understand what the fuck you're talking about. If not, go soft. Don't show us. Don't show me that algorithm which pops open. Just tell me, something happened and he now evolved. I'm okay with that. I don't need you to explain it to me. Because by trying to explain something which you
dumb.
Which you clearly don't understand, you just sound dumber. And this is the problem. You say that about Ready Player One, I say that about Free Guy. They feel like movies made by out-of-touch old guys who want to feel like they're with the kids. And this is not a game.
Literally the Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, the Steve Buscemi. How do you follow kids? And for me, Free Guy had a more... this is probably me trying to suck up to Steven Spielberg, because again, I have a lot of good history with him. I love Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I love E.T. I love Schindler's List. So maybe that. But as I said, that one felt like Spielberg wanted to make it. Spielberg wanted to make a movie about video games, and so he made it. This one feels like someone wanted to, Disney wanted to make a movie about video games. You know what I mean?
I think they chose a good director though. Like Sean Levy, he did Night at the Museum, which is basically the historical version of Free Guy.
But history works in that way. This doesn't.
Yeah, of course it doesn't. History is, something set in stone, something, how do you say
and
it?
you can have fun with history, because history is something that it's easy to understand. It doesn't have a community around it. It's a museum.
I'm going to put it in quote, a passionate community, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but the gaming, the fact is, they don't understand gaming. I agree if you say Ready Player One also doesn't understand it, but again, in this one, I felt a lot more cynicism. Not in the movie itself, in how it's made, in what it's trying to do. Like, you clearly don't know what you're talking about. You clearly didn't want to make this. You made it because of Ryan Reynolds and because of gaming. Because you put Jacksepticeye in there and you have the gaming community with you. And as someone, I'm sorry for this, I know this is going to get a lot of dislikes. As someone who's made videos for YouTube, gaming community are idiots. I'm serious. They watch everything. That includes a guy sitting at the corner of his room talking about Stronghold. And I actually like that video. I'm saying it like that.
He's dissing himself. Jesus.
Yeah. They watch everything that happens to be about gaming. They watch Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat didn't lose money.
Yeah.
So, this feels more cynical to me than Ready Player One. And that's maybe because I'm easier on Ready Player One. I'm saying, okay, Spielberg wanted to make it. He made it. And it's Steven Spielberg, you know. He clearly doesn't need the money.
Probably not.
Yeah, he can probably live happy until the day
I think he
dies.
should, give some of his money to some of his more talented friends so that they can make, good movies.
I mean, fuck you, I like it.
Thank you.
But, I don't know. Again, if it didn't try to go technical, it would have been more successful.
At least it's spending time on some of gaming's lesser known facts that kind of are interesting. Like the idea
Horizon thing?
The Horizon thing, the AI routines and stuff like that. It isn't done well, it isn't implemented well.
An AI routine is something that I think anyone even interested in gaming probably... Anyone who ever played Hitman
Especially
Contracts...
the newer ones.
The
Oh,
new
you
one...
mean the old one?
The old one has a very clear route.
Yeah.
Like, this guy comes
Yeah.
here. Like, if you play Commandos, one of the Command and Conquer games, Generals, I think.
Oh.
Because that one also had a very specific route. Any sort of game where you needed to have a stealth section, you probably are familiar with routes.
Yeah.
The fact that this movie is so limited, like the route is so limited, and yet the movie acts like it's bigger than it is. You know what I mean?
I think it's stuck in a position that it wants to be about a game and it wants to be more than that. Like, it wants to be a wholesome story about a rogue AI that,
Yeah.
that caught feelings. Basically. It's trying to, talk about the topic that might...
Also, again, this is...
This is actually true for Ready Player One too. Like, that movie's talking about metaverse. Fuck metaverse. This movie's talking about AI. I'm not gonna talk about fucking AI because they might come and hunt me down. These are good ideas. I don't doubt that. They're not executed well. They're executed by people who have clearly no idea about how things work. Just give it to someone that knows how it works.
This is another thing I wanted to say about Free Guido, is the references to gaming industry that I thought was very mishandled. Like, the fact that the code stealing was so blatant.
No.
And it's like, yeah, but first of all, the guy who does it doesn't do it like this. So it's easier to, and it happens a lot. EA again does it a fucking lot.
Yeah.
And the fact that the guy who is always about, my image, takes a fucking axe and attacks the servers.
The mistreatment of workers
Yeah,
in light of Activision's
Blizzard.
fuckfest. Yeah.
And so, it wants to say something about the gaming industry as the fact that the gaming company they attacked is Tsunami. I wonder what gaming company they are referencing.
Capcom?
Yeah, Capcom. And it's like, it feels a little bit tasteless.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And you didn't need to do that. You didn't. You want to talk about an egotistical game designer? This is where you do your research. You look at Randy Pitchford. You want to talk about a game designer who doesn't understand what the fuck he's doing, and yet is given money and is popular for some reason.
Todd Howard.
I was gonna say Peter Molyneux, but Todd Howard. Oh yeah, Todd Howard. But
I'm joking.
Todd Howard is actually more nerdy. That's the thing. You want to. That's why I said Taika Waititi could have done his what we do in the Shadows performance in this one. That would have been Todd Howard. Like,
he was like,
yeah.
who's laughing now?
It just works. And okay, I know they couldn't do this. Make a lot more references to fucking real life. It just works.
Just
Like, it's weird to make a movie about gaming, have Jacksepticeye in it, have Pokimane in it, have other people like
other streamers like
and talking about gaming community, talking about gaming industry, talking about how toxic is the gaming community because they say bad jokes in the chat. First of all, that cripple joke was not the worst thing you can get in a game. The fact that Ryan Reynolds didn't run around calling people the N-word means you don't understand the gaming community. I'm sorry, that's the sad reality, because a lot of people who play games are 12-year-olds who feel like the N-word is the funniest shit ever.
Yeah.
And like, you need to have you need to be more into this community. This feels like a movie for people who don't like games.
I get that.
Like Ready Player One also feels like from people who don't understand games. I don't think it's for people who don't like games. It's like for people who don't understand it. Like I play Candy Crush, or I play Forza Horizon. I play FIFA, so I'm gonna watch this movie. It's a game. But this is for people who don't like games, so they see it from a distance. So there's a health pack there, and it's a literal briefcase, and it's in the middle of the street. While we all know that sort of health pack is not gonna happen in a fucking MMO.
The healer.
Yeah. So it feels like they needed to be more in there, because I can imagine this movie. I said it in my review in the letterbox. I like the idea of the movie way than I like the movie. Because imagine if Taika Waititi was Randy Pitchford, an egotistical asshole who throws away years of hard work just by being a fucking asshole on Twitter and ruin the chance the game might have. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Randy Pitchford is the guy. I don't remember the name of the studio. I know he made Borderlands. Gearbox. He made Borderlands. And he has a habit of going on Twitter, saying a lot of stupid shit, and having a lot of bad takes about events, and then people have to come and apologize for him.
Do you remember the missed USB flash drive?
No.
I'm gonna tell you about it later.
Oh, okay. You can tell the audience too.
But, I mean, so they went to he and his maybe coworkers, friends, I don't know, went to a restaurant, and he misplaced a flash drive on the table of the restaurant, and it had some kinky shit in it. And by kinky, I mean stuff that is not even explainable on this podcast.
Oh, okay.
And he's oddly infatuated with doing magic tricks. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, You see, this is eccentric guys. What is the eccentric quality about Taika Waititi?
He's just an asshole.
He's just an asshole. Okay, you want to make him just an asshole. This is the thing I hate about a lot of these movies. Mediocre action movies, mediocre movies in general. What they say with what is reality in that movie is not the same. Antoine, the Taika Waititi character, is supposed to be this visionary of the future and all of that, yet he's an obvious asshole.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but in your world, an obvious asshole doesn't work. Because it's supposed to be like he's a visionary. People respect him and all of that.
In our world, maybe.
No. Even in our world, look at Elon Musk, the version that people actually respect. He's an asshole. But not to us.
Yeah, sure.
Outwardly, he's this crazy, eccentric guy. What eccentricities did it have except for that hand gesture thing? Which was very cringy, by the way. And I don't know. It feels like it could have...
It could have been good.
It could have been good.
There is an idea there in both of these movies.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's... To be honest, I don't think you could have a better version of Ready Player One.
Of course you could.
I don't think you can.
You could, but by first of all not being stupid.
Maybe it's because I like Spielberg, but I don't think he had much to work with. I know he didn't have much to work with. The book is fucking stupid.
Then why did he choose it in the first place?
Honestly, I think because Ernest Cline really sucked his dick in the book.
Ooh.
No, not literally.
Oh,
like,
damn it.
It's like, a lot of...
A lot of Spielberg references.
Yeah, and the thing is, actually, we needed to talk about that in the Player One section. I think it's kind of interesting, though. He made the movies that...
Inspired him, then he made a movie of that inspiration. Yeah, I get that.
It's odd in a weird... Like, we have an Iranian movie called Nasreddin Shah Akhtar Cinema, which in English they call it Once Upon a Time Cinema.
Yeah.
It's an interesting movie. It's one of the few instances of postmodernism in Iranian cinema.
The first and not few.
I mean, we don't have a lot.
We don't have a... Yeah,
I know you want to say your sensei makes them... The sensei doesn't make postmodern movies. At best, he makes modern movies.
Do you want me to start talking?
No, Nasreddin Shah Akhtar Cinema is actually... I don't think we have a movie that is that expressively postmodernist.
Yeah, I guess I can...
Like, Bahman Beyzai in his wildest dream can't be that postmodernist. And the guy who made it is Mohsen Makhmalbaf, which I hate. I hate him as a person. I like him as a director. I hate him as a person.
He's also a subject of a brilliant movie.
Yeah, Close Up.
Anyway.
That actually might be more postmodernist.
I mean, Kiarostami's movies are quite postmodernist. Or his more experimental movies like Shirin, I don't know.
Yeah.
What was it? Report?
What do you... Oh, Gozavesh?
We have gone full on Persian, ladies and gentlemen.
Anyway, Nasreddin Shah Akhtar Cinema has this amazing quality that it has Izzatullah Intizami in it playing Nasreddin Shah. Now, Izzatullah Intizami, the late Izzatullah Intizami, not only played Nasreddin Shah in the movie Kamal al-Mulk, he played the role of Mashasan in the movie Gav, or the cow. Not to be confused with the 2021 movie Cow, which YouTube is shoving down my throat. Movie, fuck you. I did the poor choice of letting you know I like movies. My fucking god, if I see that trailer for First Cow again.
Apparently it's a good movie.
Yeah, I want to watch that movie, but that trailer is fucking annoying. But and Mohsen Makhmalbaf had the chance to make a movie about Gav, about Cow, about Nasreddin Shah, and have Izzatullah Intizami in that movie. And Ready Player One, in a weird way, feels like that. That the guy who inspired a lot of what went into writing Ready Player One made Ready Player One.
Yeah, I guess that kind of actually what makes me sad about it. Like, you could have done so much better.
Maybe. I mean, we don't know. That's a
And
part.
we'll never, and we never will.
We may. How long before they reboot it?
Stop it. Don't give them ideas.
I wait until Disney buys Warner Brothers and then they reboot it and then they can have Avengers and the X-Men in it. And, Batman in it.
Yeah.
Also, Free Guy has Chris Evans for some reason. Why? One scene.
Yeah.
The shield happens and what the hell? So yeah, do you recommend Free Guy?
Out of the 2 episodes we have recorded, this is probably the only thing I might recommend. Watch it with the caveat of it being not good though. It's okay. It's a time waster in a literal sense. This is one of those movies you take your girlfriend or your wife or your whatever with you. You just laugh your ass off or spend.
I call these lazy afternoon movies. Like it's 5 p.m. You're sitting in your underwear and you're feeling, I want to watch something, but I don't want to pay attention to it.
Yes.
Watch Free Guy.
Yes. This is
It doesn't do any harm. But to be honest, I also have the same opinion on Ready Player One. Watch that too, in that case. I watch Mortal Kombat 2020. 2021, such a great year for movies, and yet we talked about Green Knight.
We have talked about good movies.
Yeah, that talked about Dune and Green Knight. Green Knight so far still the best part of 2021 for me. And French Dispatch.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know why am I saying this, is because we recorded a 4-hour long episode that you're not going to hear.
For now.
No, not ever. We're gonna record it later.
Yeah, we're probably gonna re-record most of the stuff later.
So yeah.
Yeah.
With that said, we don't know what is our next episode.
Resident Evil.
Probably. Or it can be House of
We can do a
Gucci.
trilogy of video games. You know, we did Mortal Kombat, we did this, we can end it.
I mean, we did a video game movie. We did a movie about video games.
We should do a video game about a movie.
We can do that. But I don't want to play any video games. Because if video game movies are hard to get to, video games
Or even worse.
are even worse.
Because you have to play them.
Yeah. You can't put it and say, okay, I'll lie down and it happens. You need to actively engage with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we don't know what we'll do. We'll probably think of something clever.
Something we think it's clever.
Yeah. So, live long.
And prosper. Like, share, subscribe, please.
And don't forget to ring that notification button.
Yeah, seriously, this stuff does.
And if you are a fan of Jacksepticeye, thank you for fooling the algorithm into thinking that you like both of us equally.
See you next week.